First of all, I'm going to show you how I make these shabby folded roses, and you can either quilt them together or use them as embellishments. I'm going to start off by drawing a hexagon with just a ruler and a pencil. So first of all, draw your line. We're making a equilateral triangle, so I'm going to do this 3 inches. So I'm drawing a line that's 3 inches long and I'm marking the centre. Now what I'm going to do is draw a straight line up through that centre at a 90-degree angle, and I want to measure 3 inches up that line. So I've got my point on the line and it's measuring 3 inches long, and then again this side. So now what I should have is an equilateral triangle that's 3 inches on all 3 sides. This should be a 60-degree angle. So I'm going to cut out this triangle. Now that I've got my triangle, I'm just going to create the pentagon. And there you have it. Cut it down to whatever size you want. So this is a 3 inch each side, but it's too big for what I want because this measures 6 inches wide. So I ended up cutting it down a bit more, and my sides are approximately 2 inches long. And now that is going to be my template. What we need is a selection of scrap fabrics. I mean, I've even got salvages in here, and cut your strips at 1.5 inches. Your outer layer, this section here, we need 2 inch wide strips. So for the centre, cut yourself a square. I'm going to go with the lightest fabric for my centre for this one. So just cut a rough square. Using Elmer's glue, just dab it somewhere in the middle, doesn't have to be perfect, and stick it down. With these 1.5 inch strips, fold them in half and press them so you've got the right sides of the fabric on the outside. And you want to repeat that for all of your strips. I'm going to start off with the lightest in the middle, and I think I'm going to go that way. So have your folded part of your fabric facing inwards, and we're going to put 3 pieces randomly across the centre like that. I'm just going to take it over to the machine and sew down the outside raw edge of each piece. We're going from lightest to darkest, so the next layer we want 4 strips, and again with the folded edge inwards, and again we're just going to go and sew around the outside edge. The next layer we need 5 strips, so again the folded edge inwards, we're going to do the same, just sew down the outside edge. Fabric's getting thick in some spots. We want 6 pieces for the last layer, so we just repeat exactly the same. And again, just sew around the outside edge. You need to make sure that you're covering the stitches from the previous row. Flip it over and sew around just inside the edge of the shape, the template. Now we're just going to trim around that template, the base fabric. And there we have our second flower. I'm going to make several of these in different colours. So this one, I made an error. You see how the fabric is too short here? So you need to be careful when you laying it out for your final colour. But most of them have turned out okay. So I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet, but I think I'm going to put them into a bag, so we'll see how we go from there.